I've been meaning to rant about this since the beginning of time. This is a rant on certain WWE fans that just make it harder for me to enjoy the show, no matter what wrestling company I'm watching. It's not just WWE, it's also other wrestling companies like New Japan or Lucha Underground, whatever. The first one I'm going to start off with is the types of fans that are not satisfied with anything WWE has to offer. Prime example, there's a bunch of examples I can think of. I'll give one right now. When Kofi Kingston was all of a sudden getting a hard push he was set for in 2009, but after some backstage heat with Randy Orton, that eventually died out. About 10 years later today, he ended up getting a hard push, and he is now the WWE champion. Most of the fans are actually very happy, including me. I like Kofi Kingston. But there's a lot of those fans out there that are claiming that they want Kofi Kingston as the WWE champion. They want him to have a push, like he's getting right now. All of a sudden, whenever he wins the WWE championship, they're like, "No, I don't want Kofi Kingston as champion. He can't wrestle. He's overrated. This and that, this and that." These people are such indecisive hypocrites. Other examples. The exact same thing has happened with Becky Lynch now. Like, I'm happy that Becky Lynch is currently the Raw Women's Champion, but there's those fans out there that wanted her to be the face of the women's division, like she is right now. But now all of a sudden they're like, "No, take the title off of her. She's overrated. Bocce Lynch, that's her name." You basically get what I mean. The same thing happened with Daniel Bryan too. Like, people wanted him to be WWE champion, and he was back in 2014. But then all of a sudden they turn their back on him, saying that he's overrated and this and that. And there's a lot of those fans that hated him because he wasn't big enough. And that actually brings me to another point. Types of wrestling fans that only want one type of wrestler to be pushed. Let me give you a couple of names. We have the Smarks in WWE, in the community, and we have the anti-Smarks. Both of them are equally bad, okay? I choose not to be a Smark or an anti-Smark. Let me tell you about the Smarks first of all. The Smarks, let me tell you something. The definition of a Smark is supposed to be a wrestling fan that knows that wrestling is scripted, but enjoys it nonetheless. All of a sudden it's turned into an insult towards these idiotic fans that think they know everything about wrestling, and let me tell you something, they only want to see one type of wrestler pushed, and that's the smaller wrestlers, the high flyers. I mean, I don't really blame them for wanting them to be pushed. I mean, high flyers are my favorite types of wrestlers, they're my favorite class of wrestlers, alright? But only wanting them on top is just stupid. And we also have the anti-Smarks, like I said. These certain fans, they only want the big guys pushed. They don't want any high flyer pushed. Anyone who has acrobatic abilities in the ring to be pushed. They only want to see big, strong men being pushed. Let me say this right now. Listen, powerhouses are my second favorite class of wrestler, okay? Do not get me wrong, alright? Us fans, we really, in order to be true fans, we really should appreciate all the types of wrestling out there. Whether it be high-flying wrestling, powerhouse wrestling, submission specialists, in-ring technicians. You get what I mean. You should like all the types of wrestlers. I mean, I'm not saying you should like every single wrestler that's on the WWE roster or anything like that. I personally don't. I think there's some that suck on the roster. But I'm saying that being against all other types of classes of wrestling and only rooting for one specific one, that just ticks me off. These certain types of fans are just so close-minded. It's unbelievable. A lot of fans in WWE are just so toxic nowadays. Like, whenever I go to a live event, which, don't get me wrong, I usually enjoy live events whenever I go to them. Whenever I go to a live event, there's almost not one single person that will not shut up throughout the match. Like whenever I'm trying to watch the match and focus on what they're doing in the ring, on what they're saying on the promo, I've always got some annoying freaking idiot yelling behind me or in front of me the entire freaking time. These types of fans really make me embarrassed to be a wrestler. The types of fans that are ungrateful for everything that WWE has to offer, or any wrestling company whatsoever. The types of fans that only like one specific type of wrestling class. That's predominantly the smarks that only like the high flyers and the anti-smarks, or the muscle marks, if you want to say it like that, that only like the big guys. I hate both of those two equally. And there's also those certain types of fans that just live in the past and do not like anything the WWE has to offer, like I was talking about with those other ones. Like, if you're really disappointed with today's product, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm mostly disappointed with today's product, but other than that, I usually like what they have to offer, alright? I usually like what WWE has to offer, other than the stuff that I rant about on this channel. But these types of the types of fans have you these certain types of fans are really fans, really, but that just hate everything WWE has to offer. They really should just stop watching. That's all I gotta say. Those people should just stop watching. And now I got one more type. Now this actually just a more recent occurring. Okay, like these particular types of fans are a lot of the Roman Reigns haters. The ones that take their hatred too far. Listen, I'm not the biggest Roman Reigns fan, okay? Do not get me wrong, I'm not the biggest fan of him. But I really hated the time. Like, I already ranted like 3 times about the death wishes he was getting. But there was a lot of fans out there that thought that you guys remember when he had leukemia and he eventually beat it? There was fans out there that thought that he was faking cancer because the WWE wants them to like him. Are you kidding me? They really hate him that much that they resort to thinking of that. Yeah. These types of fans of WWE today, they just really make me ashamed to be a fan. And I got a lot of tips out there for some fans out there that are just getting into WWE, alright? Do not look at the comment section of any YouTube video that WWE releases, or any article on Facebook that WWE releases about results that happen on Monday Night Raw or Tuesday Night SmackDown. Don't read the comments, alright? You will see a bunch of toxic fans. See you guys later.